The year is 1938, a year marked by significant events and profound changes. America is grappling with the Great Depression. Millions are unemployed, struggling to make ends meet. Bread lines stretch for blocks, and the despair is palpable. Fear and uncertainty grip the nation. People anxiously read newspapers, hoping for any sign of improvement, but the economic situation remains dire. Across the Atlantic, war clouds gather over Europe. The political landscape is tense, and the threat of conflict looms large. Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime grows increasingly aggressive. His speeches are filled with fervor, and the world watches with bated breath as Germany's military might expands. Back in America, families huddle around their radios, eager for news. The radio has become a lifeline, connecting people to the world beyond their immediate surroundings. Radio is the primary source of information and entertainment. It brings music, dramas, and news reports into homes across the nation. Families gather in their living rooms to listen to their favorite programs. The radio is a source of comfort and a way to escape the harsh realities of daily life. Little do they know, a radio program on the evening of October 30th will forever change how they view the power of this new medium. The broadcast of The War of the Worlds by Orson Welles will cause widespread panic, demonstrating the profound impact of radio on the public psyche. This event will highlight the influence and responsibility of broadcasters, shaping the future of media in ways that are still felt today. Orson Welles, a young and ambitious actor and director, leads a talented group of performers called the Mercury Theater on the Air. Welles is already a star on Broadway. At just 23 years old, he is known for his innovative radio productions. His Mercury Theater broadcasts are known for their creativity and dramatic flair. They adapt classic literary works for a modern audience. Welles's voice is captivating. His deep, resonant tones command attention. Thank you. We strive to bring the best of literature to life for our listeners. On Sunday, October 30th, 1938, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the Mercury Theater prepares to stage an adaptation of H.G. Wells's science fiction novel, The War of the Worlds. The novel tells the terrifying story of a Martian invasion of Earth. Welles and his team decide to adapt the story as a series of realistic-sounding news bulletins. They believe this will make the story more engaging for their audience. They have no idea of the mass hysteria their broadcast will cause. The broadcast begins innocently enough with a weather report and some music. The airwaves are filled with the soothing sounds of a bygone era, transporting listeners to a simpler time. The weather report details the day's forecast, mentioning clear skies and mild temperatures, a perfect day in every sense. Then, the announcer interrupts with a breaking news bulletin. The tone shifts dramatically, and the once calm atmosphere becomes charged with tension. The announcer's voice, usually steady and reassuring, now carries a sense of urgency that commands immediate attention. Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt our program to bring you a special bulletin. The words hang in the air, creating a palpable sense of anticipation. Listeners across the nation lean in closer to their radios, their curiosity piqued. Observers in Princeton, New Jersey report seeing strange explosions on the surface of Mars. The news is both fascinating and bewildering. What could these explosions mean? Speculation runs wild as people imagine the possibilities. More bulletins follow, each more urgent than the last. The tension builds with each new report, creating a sense of impending doom. The announcer's voice grows more frantic, mirroring the rising panic among the listeners. We have just learned that a Martian spacecraft has landed in Grover's Mill, New Jersey. The announcement sends shockwaves through the audience. The idea of extraterrestrial life suddenly feels all too real, and fear begins to take hold. The bulletins describe the emergence of terrifying alien creatures armed with heat rays. The vivid descriptions paint a horrifying picture, and listeners can almost see the monstrous beings in their mind's eye. The fear is palpable, spreading like wildfire. This is unbelievable! The creatures are attacking with heat rays! The actor's voice trembles with fear, adding to the realism of the broadcast. The sense of chaos and destruction is overwhelming. People are running in all directions. The streets are filled with pandemonium as people try to escape the perceived threat. The sound of footsteps, shouts, and cries for help create a cacophony of terror. The actors use realistic sound effects. Every detail is meticulously crafted to create an immersive experience. The clanging of metal, the hiss of steam, and the distant rumble of explosions all contribute to the illusion. The sounds of screaming crowds, whirring machines, and crackling fire add to the realism. The broadcast blurs the line between fiction and reality, leaving listeners questioning what is real and what is imagined. The power of radio to captivate and terrify is on full display, a testament to the medium's enduring impact. Mass hysteria, the panic grips America. Listeners across America believe what they are hearing is real. People flee their homes in terror. Some grab whatever weapons they can find to defend themselves against the invaders. Telephone lines are jammed with frantic calls. Hospitals treat people for shock and hysteria. The broadcast creates a nationwide panic. It reveals the power of radio to influence public opinion. It also exposes the public's vulnerability to misinformation. The power of belief. Why the broadcast was so convincing. Several factors contributed to the broadcast's believability. The format of the broadcast, mimicking real news bulletins, was crucial. Many listeners tuned in late, missing the introduction, identifying the program as fiction. The use of realistic sound effects added to the authenticity. The tense political climate and fear of war also made people more susceptible to believing the news. The aftermath, Orson Welles' career takes off. The following day, newspapers across the country report on the mass panic caused by the broadcast. Some criticize Welles for irresponsible broadcasting. Others praise his creativity and the show's ingenuity. The Federal Communications Commission investigates the incident. They implement stricter guidelines for radio broadcasts to prevent similar occurrences. The controversy, however, catapults Orson Welles to national fame. He becomes a household name, albeit a controversial one. What a whirlwind of events. From panic to fame, Welles' career truly took off after that night. Lessons learned. The broadcast's impact on media and society. The War of the Worlds broadcast serves as a cautionary tale about the power of media. It highlights the importance of responsible journalism and the need for critical thinking when consuming news. The incident sparks discussions about the ethics of broadcasting, the role of government regulation, and the public's responsibility to be informed citizens. The enduring legacy, War of the Worlds in popular culture. The War of the Worlds broadcast remains one of the most famous events in radio history. It has been adapted into numerous films, television shows, and stage productions. The incident continues to be studied and debated by media scholars, historians, and cultural critics. Fact or fiction? Separating truth from myth. Over the years, the story of the War of the Worlds panic has been embellished and exaggerated. Some accounts claim that people died from heart attacks or suicide due to the broadcast. While the panic was real, there is no evidence of any deaths directly resulting from the program. The broadcast's legacy is a reminder to approach historical events with a critical eye and to be wary of sensationalized accounts. A timeless tale. The continued relevance of War of the Worlds. The War of the Worlds broadcast, though occurring over 8 decades ago, remains eerily relevant in the 21st century. When Orson Welles narrated the infamous radio drama in 1938, it caused widespread panic among listeners who believed the fictional Martian invasion was real. This event is a powerful testament to the influence of media on public perception. In the age of fake news, social media, and instant information, the story serves as a potent reminder of the power of misinformation. Today, we are bombarded with information from countless sources, many of which are unreliable or deliberately misleading. The War of the Worlds broadcast is a historical example that mirrors our current struggles with discerning truth from falsehood in the digital age. It highlights the need for media literacy and the importance of verifying information from reliable sources. Educators and journalists alike emphasize the critical skill of fact-checking and the necessity of approaching information with a healthy dose of skepticism. In classrooms, students are taught to navigate the complex media landscape, learning to distinguish between credible news and sensationalist stories. The broadcast's themes of fear, paranoia, and the unknown continue to resonate with audiences today, proving that some stories are truly timeless. The reaction of the 1930s audience to the broadcast underscores how fear can spread rapidly through society, especially when fueled by media. This phenomenon is not confined to the past. It is evident in modern times as well, where misinformation can lead to widespread panic and confusion. The War of the Worlds serves as a cautionary tale. reminding us of the enduring impact of media on human behavior and the importance of critical thinking in an era of information overload.